Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name's Johnny Rashman. Right, let's get straight into it. Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. It's finally here. Fight week is finally here. Very funny, isn't it? I thought Tommy Fury was scared and he didn't want this fight and he's terrified and the pressure's getting to him and he doesn't want to lose against Jake Paul, and Jake Paul's got this scary power and he's terrified of fighting him. He's here, isn't he? Well, turned out not to be true, that. Now, I've got to be honest with you. I can't wait until this is over because I am sick of speaking about it. I've gone on about this for nearly 2 years. I've always said that Jake Paul, to professional standards, isn't a good boxer, right? I always give him credit for coming off YouTube, fair play and all that, but it's gone beyond that now. The way he's talked and the way he's manipulated himself into this position, we've got to judge him as a pro boxer, right? And it's the biggest bank robbery in boxing. That's what it is. It's a stone cold bank robbery. Believe me, Tommy Fury is laughing to the bank. It's unbelievable. The bloke is getting paid millions and millions to fight a guy who can't box to any particular decent level. Like, for professional boxing terms, he's just not a good boxer and he's getting millions of pounds. Laughing to the bank. Why on earth would you not want to fight this man? It makes me laugh. People say, oh, there's pressure on him and his family going to disown him. It's all bullshit. His family's not going to disown him, right? Even if he loses, he's still made millions and millions, right? He can't lose this fight. But there's no, I don't buy into the pressure and all that. He's laughing. If he was fighting a world-class boxer, that's pressure. Because let me tell you something, when you get in the ring and the bell goes ding, ding, it's about boxing skill. It's not about how many followers you have, how much content you can put out to manipulate your followers. It's not about that. Jake Paul's done his job. Fair play. He's getting millions and millions of pounds. I give him a lot of credit for how he's come off YouTube and a different industry and created this for himself financially, right? Because this is what the guy is. He's a content creator. He puts stuff out that sells, not what the truth is. That's the truth, right? Look at all the stuff with KSI and the rivalry, yet his brother's in business with him. The stuff about calling out UFC fighters' pay, that's gone a bit quiet, hasn't it? Again, his brother's in business with the UFC. It's all manipulation. I don't understand how you can't see it. It's a fucking joke. Honestly, it's like, I respect it because he's no mug. People think this guy's a clown. He's a very smart businessman, right? He's no one's mug. He's a very smart man. He knows what sells, right? And people buy into it. And unfortunately, there's boxing outlets like myself that won't sit here and let boxing be disrespected, right? There's a lot of outlets who'll play pretend boxer, high five, yes, Jake, you're the best, you're learning, you're going to be a great fighter, well done, Jake, well done, Jake. And they just want the views or they tag him in it and they think he's going to like it and all that stuff. I'm not about that. Here, you're going to get the truth, whether I'm your friend, whether I'm not, it doesn't matter. I pride myself on giving you facts and the truth. Right? I won't be manipulated. I can't. Right? I don't idolize this guy. If he walked past me in the street, I'd walk the other way. He doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean I don't respect what he's done from a different industry. But don't come into boxing and try and convince me that you're a world level fighter and you're going to fight Carl Froch and you're going to fight this one. Ain't going to work with me, mate. Unfortunately, there's more boxing fans than there's not. So they're brought into the hype. Right? They think this guy is a legit pro boxer. All I keep hearing is Tommy's going to go under the pressure. He's not going to be able to take it. Jake's going to outbox him and Jake's going to do this and Jake's going to do that. And they're all going off the Anthony Taylor fight. You know, I've tried my best to be impartial and say, look, this is Jake's strengths and weaknesses. This is what he does right and this is what he does wrong. And he's just not a particularly good boxer. And if you look at my videos, you'll see that. I have been getting a lot of requests saying, are you going to do a Tommy Fury strengths and weaknesses video? I will be. That'll be out in a few days. But I just want this to be over, right? But what I won't accept, and I'm telling you now, I won't accept this being a glorified sparring session. I won't accept it, right? Now, people say, well, how can you say Jake Paul's fights are fixed? Listen, people think that. Carl Froch has said it. Dana White has alluded to it. There's millions of people who don't think this is legit. Now, I'm not saying fighters are going in and they're going to give hand signals and say, right, in the 7th round, knock me out. It's not about that. but you can go into a boxing ring not looking to knock your opponent out. You can put pressure on, but you can just hold back. It happens in exhibition fights. Tommy Fury's last fight was an exhibition, right? But the difference is they're being billed as exhibitions, not as a professional boxing match. This is a pro boxing match. People are paying for pay-per-view. They're betting on the outcome. A glorified sparring session will not be acceptable. Not when people are putting money on. I'm not going to sit here and be conned out of money, right? This has to be a legitimate boxing match. Now, I don't want to sit here and accuse people of things. It's the last thing I want to do, because if it is a sparring session, it's match fixing. It's fraud of the highest level. I don't want to be sat here accusing people of that. It's not what I want to do, right? Do I think it's going to be a sparring session? No. I think Tommy's going to go in there and just beat this guy comfortably. That's what I think. But if I do see any signs of that, because let's get it right, if Tommy wins a decision, the train can go on. Jake can give it all that, I went the distance with a professional boxer, right? It's not acceptable. I will be watching this with my eyes very, very closely, looking at how this turns out, right? And I hope this proves to be wrong. I don't want this to be a sparring session. It has to be a legitimate boxing match, right? And like I say, I think it will be. But I just want it to be over with now, because I'm just sick of the constant back and forth. Yes, I like debating with people, but I'm not a Jake Paul fan. I'm not particularly a Tommy Fury fan. People think I'm a fanboy. I'm not. It doesn't matter if it was Tommy Fury or any other boxer, Prince Patel, or Billy Joe Saunders, or Vidal Riley, or anyone. It doesn't make a difference, right? If it was the same situation where a guy's coming off YouTube, is fighting a professional boxer, I would still say the same. I have no loyalty towards Tommy Fury. I don't know him. I've never met him. I know people who know him. I know a few of his coaches, but that's about it, right? If I didn't think he'd win this fight, I would say it, right? But I believe he's too good for Jake Paul. I've watched enough of Jake Paul to understand that this guy's a white-collar fighter. And what a white-collar fighter is, it's not professional, it's not amateur, it's below that. Anyone can do it, right? Yes, you can have decent high white-collar events where you can have ex-pros fighting each other, but you can also have white-collar events where a hairdresser is fighting a lawyer, in the first fight. That's what happens. Now, Jake Paul is a little bit above the white-collar, but he's not ready to be in professional boxing. And all this talk about being ranked by the WBC is an absolute joke. It's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. How can you rank this guy? It's his first boxing match, and even if he does win, he's not beating anyone who's ranked by the WBC. You're talking about ranking him, and let me show you the WBC's statement. I mean, just look at the wording in this. It's absolutely diabolical. Discrimination they're talking about. He deserves a chances like anyone else. VAR testing, well, let's not talk about that. We know what happens with that. I mean, it's embarrassing. We all know people are dying to put belts on this guy. Look at all this about being given an amateur belt from the WBC in one of his first fights. Amateur boxing is an extremely high level. And you're giving them an amateur belt? What are you talking about? It's embarrassing. We don't want to see it. I get he brings eyes to the sport, but boxing is in a bad place if you're relying on a content creator to be the face of your sport. It's embarrassing. Just call it for what it is. He's done well to come off YouTube. I give him respect for fighting a pro boxer, but talking about ranking him and world titles and things like that, it's just a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace to the people who work hard day in and day out, who don't have the luxury of coming from a different industry. Jake Paul is not famous because he's a boxer. He's not. He's famous from a different industry, so it's very easy to come in and use that and use your profile. Fair play for getting a profile from a different industry, but it'd be no different to an actor or a footballer if they could box to a certain standard. This is what I don't like. It's polluting the sport when you're mixing it and you're trying to say that you're going to rank this guy. How dare you? How dare you? It's a kick in the teeth to professional boxers. Now, yes, professional boxers need to self-promote more. Promoters and managers need to do more. We need to reach a younger audience, right? And if we did, we wouldn't need to bother about Jake Paul coming in and trying to use boxing for his financial gain. Because that's all this is for him to make money and the people around him to make money. He's not interested in a professional boxing career. If he was, he would have 5-6 fights a year, build himself up. He's got money. He's good. He can go into a proper boxing gym with real boxers, right, and learn the game. He's not. This is all for money. That's all it is. And fair play, he's managed to do it. It is what it is, right? I don't like people using boxing for their financial gain, but what can you do? If you can fight, no issues. But when you can't fight, there's a problem. But I can't wait till it's all over because I think Tommy Fury will just comfortably beat this man very easily. The jab will win in the fight. And I expect when he puts the pressure on Jake Paul, he'll take him out very comfortably. If he doesn't and Jake Paul wins, I will hold my hands up. No problem, right? I'll be fuming that I've got it wrong. Like any fight, I pride myself on earning credibility. And that's why I've got a following, because if you followed me, you'll see that I get it right more often than not. Right, and I'm predicting things that most others aren't. I'm telling you what round it's going to be and how the fight's going to play out. And if I'm not close, if I'm not bang on, I'm not far off it. Right. So yes, I want to be correct in my prediction. Of course I do. But if Jake Paul wins, I will come on and I will give him the respect. No problem. If it's in a legit way, I will come on. I don't care. It doesn't bother. It doesn't mean anything to me if he does win. Right. If he does, it means he would have deserved to win, and I'll hold my hands up. I think the bloke's in over his head. I think he should have had a few more fights before fighting Tommy Fury. The fights he's had is not preparation for professional boxing. He's not for a boxer. I don't think Jake Paul is ready to fight Tommy Fury yet. I don't. I think he should have had a few more fights against maybe journeyman level boxers. I understand he needs some money and he wants to create a big noise. I understand that. But look who he's fought. Now, you can say they're fighters, MMA fighters. You can package it up as much as you want. At the end of the day, he's not fought a boxer. He's now going in against a boxer. So I think it's the wrong move from his team. We'll see on Sunday night if I'm going to eat my words. But as I say, it's an absolute bank robbery. I'll be bringing you all different types of content throughout the week. And I'm looking forward to being right. Let me know your thoughts. Who's going to win? Jake Paul, Tommy Fury? Like, comment, subscribe, let me know.